Hey everybody, welcome into a new video series I'm doing over here for Tomb of Terrors called Discs of the Damned. This is where I am going to dig through my physical media collection through many films that I have not seen. I buy on sales and I haven't watched, or I've upgraded to new ones, whatever it may be. As you can see, I mean, I have a lot and the stack just piles up. This in addition to the podcast. So if you listen to the podcast, Tomb of Terrors, that one is audio only and will stay that way. But over here on YouTube and Patreon, for patrons, they get this video up to a week early. I will be digging through physical media. I will also have some additional reviews that drop over here. I'm excited to do more content throughout 2026. I've been working on this for a while. Before we dive in, make sure that you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss when any of these happen. Hit the little bell, do all the things, you know, that they say to do so you don't miss out. And check out the podcast too, where I do director interviews, reviews. My wife and I have a series that I do over there. Let's dive into the first film for Discs of the Damned, and then I will be doing Burn Witch Burn from 1962, also titled Night of the Eagle. This movie I knew nothing about before I bought it. I came across it because I was really into some black and white horror, some, you know, old Barbara Steele movies, Black Sunday, and many others of hers. And I was watching other gothic horror films, and I came across this one because it was highly rated. So found the Blu-ray, and I was like, you know what? It's a good price. It's on sale. Let's buy it and see. And I will tell you, I'm so happy I did, because I loved the movie. The movie was really good. And it is one that if you are into black and white horror or gothic style horror, old, you know, occult witch horror, whatever you want to call it, it's great. So first, we'll dive into the movie itself, and then I'll tell you about the Blu-ray. So the movie itself, a woman who may be a witch defends her husband from forces attempting to harm him. Directed by Sidney Hayers. It stars Peter Weingard, Janet Blair, Margaret Johnston, and others. Originally, Peter Cushing was supposed to play the lead, but he fell ill and he had to back out. And Peter Weingard thought the script was dumb, so he didn't want to do it. But then, what's funny, I'll talk a little bit in the interview that's on this Blu-ray. He was talking about how he needed money for a car, so he's like, how much will you pay me this much to do this role for Night of the Eagle? I'm in. And, you know, the rest is history. Many people probably don't know about this. I did not know about this film until I was researching other movies to do. In this film, you have this woman who is a witch, and her husband is starting to suspect things. And he finds out that she is doing these little spells, these curses, or whatever they may be. And he takes some of her stuff, he throws it in the fire, and she's like, no, not the picture, like it'll break. She does a protection spell. She's like, it'll break it, things will happen. And of course, just like she said, stuff starts to happen to him. He loses his job. One of his students comes forward saying that they had an affair, which they really didn't. She just played up the story. She's infatuated with him. And this whole thing just kind of spirals and spirals for him. And she is trying to put a new spell on. But unbeknownst to them, there is another witch that is working some dark forces in the background. So as this goes along, this is just a good film, good story. Everyone in this is great. And as you kind of dive more into this story and it gets darker, I was hooked in the whole way. Reason it's called Night of the Eagle, because at the end, there's this giant eagle that comes after him, which actually looked really good filmed. You could tell it was an actual eagle, and they filmed it coming after him. There isn't a whole lot more about this film that I can say. Like, it has a great tone to it. It's dark. It's very gothic feeling, but not kind of, it has a lighter side, but then you get the gothic witchcraft elements to it as you kind of dive into this darker story leading up to this end that is somewhat satisfying for what happens to this man and who is doing these things to him. So if you've never seen Burn Witch Burn, highly recommend checking it out. If you have access to get the Blu-ray, I highly recommend getting the Blu-ray. I'll link it down below. I don't have affiliate links, so you don't have to worry about that, but you can get it pretty cheap on Amazon right now. This Blu-ray was put out by Kino Lorber, and they do a lot of great restoration work on older films. This one was a new scan of the original negatives. You have two versions of the film on this, actually. You have Burn Witch Burn, which was how it was released in America. And then Night of the Eagle was the original English version of the film that was released. And there are small differences between the two films as well. The American International Pictures, when they wanted to release it in the United States, decided they needed to change it up. They wanted to boost more of the occult feeling, the occult feel of the movie for audiences. They had Paul Frees record this opening. If anyone's ever ridden Haunted Mansion, he is your narrator through the ride. He narrates a ton of old Disney stuff. As soon as it started and his voice came on the screen, I knew exactly who it was. It's just a black screen. He comes on and basically does a spell to help protect you from these forces before the movie starts. And then the opening credits, whereas the English version doesn't have that voiceover, it just starts with credits. And the credits in the English version, it is a close-up of an eyeball just kind of like looking forward. And it's video of the eyeball. Whereas the American version, it almost looks like it's a painted version of the eye as the credits go up. The movie itself is the same. And then the only other difference is the ending, to where the English version just ends, its title card, the end. And the US version, when it ends, a title card comes up and says, "Do you believe?" Because it's all about, do you believe in witches? Do you believe in witchcraft, the occult, everything else? The transfer on this Blu-ray looks stunning. The blacks are rich. It's black and white, and it just pops off the screen. It just looked absolutely beautiful. Cannot complain about it. Both versions, there's no difference in the two versions. For the restoration that Kino Lorber did on this, it's spot on and fantastic. There isn't a whole lot of special features on this disc. There are two commentaries on this, one by a film critic and one by the screenwriter. And then there is an interview with Peter Weingart. And that's where he kind of talks about how he didn't want to do this movie. And then he saw this car that he wanted to get. And he's like, "How much is the car?" And they're like, "Oh, yeah, it's this much." So he calls up and says, "Hey, Night of the Eagle, how much to do the film? Will you pay this much?" So that way he got just enough to get the car that he wanted, the sports car he wanted. So he ended up doing the film. And the interview with him is actually quite entertaining. And his kind of behind the scenes of the film and making the film are pretty good. Apparently, from what I read, there is the scene where the eagles come after him. They strapped meat, like raw meat, to his back, so the eagle would come in. And after so long, the meat started to stink. Burn Witch Burn, it has a slipcover, and the Blu-ray itself does have a reversible cover. It has this artwork that's on the slipcover, and then the reverse side, it has the Night of the Eagle artwork, which I like that. That's why I flipped it around so then I get both with the slip and without. But check out Burn Witch Burn, aka Night of the Eagle from 1962. Highly recommend it. It is definitely one I am happy that I purchased it, and it'll probably get a rewatch. I'm going to find something to kind of watch with it and do like an old black and white witch night. Well, there's my first Discs of the Damned Hope you enjoyed it. I am excited to be able to do more of these in the future. I have plenty of films next to me and in other shelves to watch, to be able to go through. I'm going to try to go through special features, everything else. Just make sure you subscribe to the channel here so you don't miss any of these videos, and subscribe to the podcast. I mean, it comes here on YouTube or on any of your podcast apps. And follow me on Blue Sky and Instagram. Just look for Old Man Brad. And also make sure you follow me on Letterboxd, because I watch a ton. You'll want to see what I watch. Just look up Old Man Brad. I'll be back soon with a brand new disc. I haven't dug through the tomb here to find out what the next one will be. Whatever it is, it's going to be a fun one.